Hi everyone, this is Rajendra Prasad. People call me RP Sir generally. I worked in ACE Academy and Gate Forum and other institutes previously. Now I am with An Academy. These are the subjects I am going to take in An Academy: Transportation, Steel, Structural Analysis, Surveying, RCCPSC. These are core civil subjects. And this is Engineering Design and Drawing will be general study subject. It is useful for all branches of engineering. So whenever you are subscribing for the plus courses, don't forget to use my code RP Civil. Then only you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription amount. Now, coming to the courses which I have started in an academy, the complete course of transportation engineering is already over by 17th June. The complete course of structural analysis and the complete course of airport engineering are running now. So please try to subscribe and utilize this lockdown period because the physical classes may not be going to start early. So utilize this lockdown period by subscribing to the Unacademy Plus courses. When you are subscribing, don't forget to use this code RP7. Now, coming to this today's topic, steps for drawing the elastic curve. What is the meaning of this elastic curve? You can say elastic curve is nothing but it is a deflection profile. So when loads are applied, how the member or structure will be deflecting, that profile will be nothing but your elastic curve. And now, why this elastic curve is required if you observe? The first and foremost usage will be to draw ILD for various structural elements using Muller-Breslau principle. So according to Muller-Breslau principle, just for an example, this is your cantilever beam. You wanted to draw ILD for this vertical reaction VA. What we need to do? You just remove this restraint, right? You just remove this restraint and apply unit deflection in this direction of your reaction. What will happen? When you are applying this unit deflection, your entire beam will be lifted like this only or not? Yes. And if you are considering this simply separate beam, let us say, and if you wanted to draw ILD for this vertical reaction at V, this is VB, let us say, what you do, you remove this and you just you remove this vertical reaction and you just apply unit deflection at this place. The deflected profile will be the deflected corresponding deflected profile will be ILD. So means if you know how to draw elastic curve for mechanisms, you can draw ILD for which one? Determinate structures. If you know how to draw elastic curve for if you know how to draw elastic curve for structures, then you can draw ILD for indeterminate structures because ILD for indeterminate structures will be curved na, like that. ILD for determinate structures will be linear like this. So that is the first use. Second one is to check the correctness of bending moment diagram. How can you check the correctness of bending moment diagram? Because there is a compatibility relation. There is a compatibility relation between bending moment diagram we are having and elastic curve. Bending moment diagram and elastic curve, right? So in the next slides we'll see what is the relation. Elastic curve and bending moment are having, there is a relation between them, right? That relation we have to check. And to determine degrees of freedom and kinematic indeterminacy, suppose if we just consider this beam, let us say, how it will be deflecting now. This will be deflecting like this. Means at this place what you can allow? You can say rotation possible. At this place it is deflecting like this means rotation possible. So at each and every joint we can identify how many degrees of freedom available or not based on the type of support. How many degrees of freedom available? So sum of the degrees of freedom is nothing but your kinematic indeterminacy of the structure, like that. So in the determination of kinematic indeterminacy and degrees of freedom also, this elastic curve will be useful. Now, to get better understanding of structural behavior under the external loads, when external loads are applied onto the structure, how it will be behaving, how it is bending, how it is deflecting, right? We can identify. So for that purpose also we can study these elastic curves. Next, what is another purpose? To solve the questions related to elastic curves directly. Sometimes in the examination what they will ask? They will ask you to identify which of the following is the elastic curve or deflected profile of the frame or beam shown in the figure under given loading. So if you know how to draw this elastic curve, we can identify those answers directly, right? So you need not use this moment area method and double integration method and all those things for drawing the elastic curve. For qualitative elastic curve, just we require visual inspection and compatibility checking and all those things. You don't require calculations. But for quantitative means amount of deflection, amount of slope. So for that, calculations are required. Qualitative means simply the nature of the curve. And now, entering into the main important part of this one, steps to draw elastic curve means how to draw this elastic curve. The first method will be by visual inspection. Here, whether you are using whether you are using momentarium method or double integration method or whatever strain energy method, whatever the method you are using, you'll be getting only the deflection values, right? We'll be getting this much amount of deflection at this place, this much amount of rotation at this place, this much amount of deflection at this place we can get, but we cannot identify the nature of the curve from them. For identifying the nature of the curve, we need to go for visual inspection. Always, this elastic curve will be of which one? Curved shape only. It is not linear. Only for mechanisms, that elastic curve will be what? Linear. But for structures, it will be curved, right? That is how we can identify it. Visual inspection, how can I identify now? Always, if you observe, this load is acting transverse to the member like this, then the deflection curve or elastic curve also will be spreaded in perpendicular direction of the load acting or not? Yes, it will be spreading in the perpendicular direction of the load acting, and in the load acting direction we are having some deformations, right? Here also, if you observe, the curve is spreaded in perpendicular direction of the load action, right? Load is acting in vertical direction, curve is spreaded on the horizontal direction, and in the load acting direction also we are having which one? Deflections like this. That is what we can identify. Now for this also, if you observe, whenever you are having this vertical loading, whenever you are having this vertical loading, these vertical deformations will occur. Vertical deformations are higher and curve will be spreaded over horizontal plane. And here when you are applying this horizontal load, if you observe, horizontal deformations are higher compared to vertical deformations, right? Here how much vertical deformation? Very, very small now. But horizontal deformations are larger. So the curve will be spreaded over vertical direction like that. So always the curve will be spreaded in perpendicular direction of this load action like that. And now step 2. What is the step 2? By means of visual inspection, approximately we have drawn the elastic curve, let us say. But we need to check whether the elastic curve drawn by us is correct or not. Yes. How can you check? By satisfying the compatibility conditions. What is the meaning of compatibility conditions? Compatibility conditions are nothing but deflection or deformation related conditions. So at a particular point, whether slope you if you know the slope value, if you know the deformation value, you can say it is a compatibility condition, known compatibility condition. So by means of this, we can just check it whether whatever the curve we have drawn is correct or not. How can you check? Once you consider this support, roller or rocker, whatever it is. If you just observe under this vertical loading, there is no vertical deformation at this place, but there is a rotation we are having, theta. There is a rotation we are having, but deflection will be 0, you can say. But rotation is non-zero. Like that. So like this we can check whether our whether our visual inspection diagram is correct or not. Second one, hinge support or pin support. Whenever this hinge support or pin support is there, under this vertical loading, what will happen? It also will allow which one? Rotation only. It will not allow vertical deformation now. So vertical deformation is 0 and theta is non-zero. Now, whenever it is a fixed support, if you observe, fixed support, 3 reactions will be there: vertical reaction, horizontal reaction, moment reaction are there. So 3 vertical reaction is there means vertical deformation is not there. Horizontal reaction is there means horizontal deformation is not there. Moment reaction is there means rotation is also not there. That is the reason up to this portion, if you observe, deflected profile this blue color one and the original curve this black color one, both are same only. Yes, after that only the deflections and slopes are starting like that. And now These are about your supports. And if you consider the joints, what are the two types of joints we are having? One is rigid connection joint or fixed connection joint. Other one is what? Pin connection joint. If you consider this rigid connection, what is the meaning of rigid connected joint? Rigid connection means angle between the members before loading will be same after loading also. Before loading if 90 degrees is there, after loading also what will happen? After loading also we can have 90 degrees only, right? That is the meaning of your rigid connection, right? This is after loading, this one is before loading. Both are same. And when both are same means what will happen? When both are same means what will happen? When your members are like this, when your members are like this originally, and when load is applied, what will happen to these members? They will be subjected to deformation definitely or not? They will be subjected to deformation definitely. So if this member is subjected to a rotation theta, first member, top member, and the second member also will be subjected to same rotation theta, then only we can maintain the same original angle between the two members or not. Yes, that is what we'll do. So rotation of two members with respect to the joint will be same. But if it is a pin connection joint, if you consider, angle between the two members before loading is this one, angle between the two members after the loading is this one. The same angle need not be maintained. Means with respect to this joint, two members will be subjected to different rotations. This first member is subjected to this much rotation, second member is subjected to this much rotation, right? It may be different like that. So our visually inspected by means of visual inspection we are drawing the curve. No? That curve we can check by means of this compatibility conditions. Next, third one is what? By making bending moment diagram and elastic curve compatible or consistent. So there must be some relation between bending moment diagram and elastic curve. What is the relation you can see if you observe? For this beam, continuous beam, two span beam, this is left span AB, right span BCD. And on this portion, positive bending moment, that is sagging bending moment will be possible. On this portion, negative bending moment, that is hogging bending moment is possible. Now if you observe the deflection profile under this loadings, this is how it will be subject to deflection. This is your point of inflection or point of counterflexion. This is also point of counterflexion or inflection you can say. And now what will happen? Whenever this is sagging movement, positive movement is there, it is deflecting like this. Means sagging movement or positive movement is there means convex in which direction? Convex down. Sagging or positive movement means this is sagging or positive movement, convex down, right? Convexity downward, concavity upwards. Whenever this negative movement is there, negative movement means what? Hogging movement. Whenever this hogging movement is there, the deflection will be like this means convexity will be upward, concavity downward, right? Convex up, like that. Simply what you can remember? For the bending moment diagram, if you are drawing upward, deflection will be downward. For the bending moment diagram, if you are drawing downward, deflection will be upward. Like that we can check. So if you know the bending moment diagram, we can check whether our deflection profile or elastic curve is correct or not. Like that. And now assumptions in the elastic curve. What are the assumptions? All members of this structure are linearly elastic. What is the meaning of this linearly elastic, you can say? If you consider this stress strain curve for mild steel, up to these elastic limits, if you are applying the load, deflections will occur, and if you are removing those loads, it will regain its original shape and size. So all members of which one? Linearly elastic means member is subjected to elastic nature of loads only. Members under elastic nature only will be drawing, right? For plastic we are not drawing, right? This permanent deformations condition we don't consider. Elastic curve we are not drawing for this plastic deformations, only for elastic. Elastic means what? Recoverable deformations, like that. Now structure is subjected to small displacement under the given loading. What is the meaning of small displacements under the given loading, you can say? If you just observe, whenever there is a mechanism like this, just for an example, this is your simplest rotor beam with internal hinge. It is acting like a mechanism. The deflection profile will be like this now. Listen, for mechanism, the deflection profile will be linear, and the deformation here will be very, very large, and it is comparable to the dimensions or not? Yes. Only for mechanisms, the deformations are very, very higher compared to which one? Compared to very, very higher as compared to which one? Dimensions. But when it is a structure, normal structure like this, if you observe, under this action of loading, some loading, it will be subjected to deformations like this. The deformations are very, very lesser. These are not comparable to which one? These are very small such that we cannot compare them with the dimensions, right? So means we are analyzing only structures or we are analyzing mechanisms? We are analyzing which one? Structures only, right? Small deformations means. Now third one is what? All members of the structure are axially inextensible. Means axially rigid unless it is mentioned. If it is mentioned, okay, you consider. If it is not mentioned, you consider all members are which one? Axially inextensible or axially rigid, you can say. Means if you consider this particular beam, for an example, for this beam, what you consider? The axial deformation means deflection in this direction we don't consider. But deflection in this direction, deflection in this vertical direction, delta y, yes, we'll consider, right? Like that. Deflections or deformations in the length direction of the members are negligible. Length direction of the members means these are axial deformations, right? Deflections in the width direction of the member or cross section direction of the member are considered. Means shear deformations we are considering or not? Yes, shear deformations we are considering. So what are these shear deformations you can consider now? And they are including which one? Moment deformations also. So you will be getting some slope here and you'll be getting this vertical deflection here, right? These are your shear deformations and these are your moment deformations. Means deformations as well as deformations. Which type of deformations? First one is deflection as well as rotation. Which deflection will allow? Shear deflection only or shear deformation only will consider. Axial deformations are neglected here, right? Like that. So this is about your steps for drawing the elastic curve. First one is what? Drawing by visual inspection, and second and third step are just checks. Second step is compatibility checking with respect to joints and the support. Third one is consistency with respect to bending moment we are checking, like that. So whenever you are subscribing for the plus courses, don't forget to use this code RP Civil. When you are using the code RP Civil, these are the benefits you will be getting finally. All of you try to join our Telegram group, Engineering Guru Civil Quiz, so that you will be attending the quizzes every day. Every day we are conducting quizzes on this. So whenever you are thinking for joining online courses, the best option is Unacademy, right? When you are joining plus courses of Unacademy, use this code RPC. Thank you all of you. We'll be meeting in the next